Big up, people. Welcome to Never a Foul. If you ain't been there before, make sure you like and subscribe. It's the first thing anyone should do, especially if you just skip most of that intro. If you're playing this back,
subscribe before they know if they like it or not.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's like,
but the thing is,
buying 2 for 1 before you even try.
But they got, with people, like, apparently the attention span these days is like 6 seconds. So you can always just unsubscribe if you don't like it later.
Sorry, what did you just say?
You can always unsubscribe it later if you don't like it.
Didn't get that.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about Chelsea, Osimhen. I think we got 2 different Chelsea fans on the panel that have got 2 different opinions. Mr. VD, Mr. Ahmed, aka The Bridge. Mons and Specs will be arriving. We're talking on Liverpool as well. Overlooked contenders potentially. Is Gunnar Lee actually a magician? We'll talk about
because Ten Hag isn't.
Well, yeah.
Harry Potter and that.
For fuck's sake. Here we are, man. What were you, man, saying?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Always good, man.
What about VD, who said nothing while backstage?
I was literally joined like 5 minutes ago, if that. I was getting
I
ready,
ain't seen you since the Palace draw.
Right, let me teach you a usual thing you say when you come across people. Hi.
Oh yeah,
Repeat.
shit, hello. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
You're so much.
Obviously,
like
I knew we
else,
drew in
no
it,
else.
but like, I'm still very optimistic about Chelsea, about Maresca, about what we're doing, what we're finishing the league. I'm optimistic about everything. I'm not sure if anyone here saw my crash out, I guess you can call it, last 3 days about the whole Osimhen thing. It wasn't even a crash out like that, but been going in on him. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we're gonna get into that because, like you said, too.
I'm not sure what's going on with Osimhen, but I heard there's something going on.
I'm not sure what Bing's opinion is on him, but I mean, I have a fairly firm stance on him. And,
well, should we relay the news that we have read or potentially going along those lines? 1, Osimhen to Chelsea is not over. 2, allegedly has sacked his agent.
Rightly so, by the way.
There's a break clause in the January thing that he's got going on with Galatasaray.
Yeah, I expected that.
So, on that notice, it looks like he actually does want Chelsea, or maybe that's because nobody else wants him or can afford him. But his price is going to be around 50 million, so even a little bit cheaper than what's expected.
Bro, rightly so. I'm glad he sacked his agent, because his agent, would, if his agent got a penny out of that, clearly he would have be stealing his living, because a player's job is to concentrate on football. Yeah. 100%. A player should be able to tell the agent what he wants, and the agent should basically, so he should have said, look, I want Premier League football and I want 400 bags a week. And his agent should have said, you can't have both. You either take 400 bags and go over there, his agent did a shit job. That agents get paid mad money to fucking ultimately deal with things like this. So it's mad, but I expected him to have a clause in it that would say if someone comes in for him in January, then he can go. So that's what it is.
I think it's, you know what, to be fair, I think Chelsea can, I think, you know what, it's not the worst case thing in the world, because I don't think you expect to win the league anyways. But when you're looking for that certain someone to maybe give you a push to put you in that position and firmly in the Champions League spots, which you probably believe that you should be in, right? By the end of this season, Who better than a proper number 9? Let's say you're getting goals anyways. Go get more goals.
Actually, that's a question. This season, is it similar to last season where four Champions League positions for English clubs, but depending on how
Yes.
It's always depend on coefficient.
It will always be that now, yeah? That there could always
Yeah.
be a fifth. Right, okay.
Yeah, so if England do well, obviously in all comps, which we're kind of not expecting with Tottenham exactly, but Conference League Chelsea expect it.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is in there from England. I don't think anybody else is. Man United are probably expected to go quite far in Europa League, considering no one can drop, especially in Champions League. Man City, Liverpool this time around probably will go quite far. Arsenal will probably go quite decently far. So yeah, man, it could be fifth spot this year for England, especially if imagine if they win Europa League as well, then that's another spot. It could
Who
be
else is in the conference? Are you lot in the Conference League?
Hell no, respect my team.
I think the only biggest,
I don't know about your team, but
That's a new low.
only Fiorentina basically is the biggest team in Conference League currently.
So who got in the Conference League? Surely one English team got in it without having to qualify.
No.
That's Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoever no matter what, who gets in, well, whoever finishes 7th has to go through qualifiers. I believe that's the case, right?
Yes. So basically, whoever finishes like 7th place in the league, they go through a playoff phase and then they win. Now you can also get what's it called, Conference League, I think, by the Carabao Cup, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Like if the person wins the Carabao Cup, they don't finish 7th or stuff like that, and they're not in the top.
Okay.
They can also.
Isn't that what happened with Man United last year or something like that? Wow.
It was like it happened to another team last year where they actually had Conference League guaranteed with them. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, I think. So what have Chelsea confirmed they're going to be going back in for Osimhen in January?
Yeah, that's the whole. Well, that's the talk anyways.
To be honest.
It came from a Nigerian source. It came from, and apparently he's quite clued in with a lot of the stuff referring around Osimhen. So I mean, it's not Fabrizio, right? But a lot of Nigerians are saying he is their Fabrizio. So yeah, I take it for what you will.
Listen, someone will come up with a name for that in seconds.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to the chat.
Yeah. I think it's kind of evident though from the game against Palace that when there is a couple chances, I'm not saying Osimhen don't fumble a couple chances because it's not like I have seen him miss 1v1s in certain similar positions to Jackson, to be fair. But you know what it is? It's just like if Jackson isn't firing at the top, who is going to? Let's say he gets injured all of a sudden. Then all you've got is Cole Palmer, really, when you deep it. Because you're not going to tell me Mark Zhu. You're not going to tell me Nkunku up top.
Nah, that Zhu, from what I've seen, is not it. I'm not going to lie.
So yeah,
you know what? He has everything. Do you know what the funny thing is? Is we haven't really seen him shoot. Like
we've seen him fail to shoot.
a few times to that. Do you know what the thing is? I guess we'll get straight into the whole Osimhen thing, right?
Joloff. That was way too basic. You got to do better than that.
People talk about Nicholas Jackson and people talk about him not being good enough, but it's like I think people are not only underestimating him, but I think people overrate Osimhen a lot. Now you look at Osimhen and you think this guy's a bagsman, right? He's only ever hit 15 non-penalty goals once in his entire career. Once. Last season, Jackson got 14 non-penalty goals. So he's already equaled. Wow. He's already equaled Osimhen for non-penalty goals.
Cool, but he scored a hat-trick against a team with nine men.
A goal's a goal.
Yeah, but
are you gonna discredit? Are you gonna discredit?
A goal's then a penalty.
You said it yourself. Then a penalty, you still have to score it.
But a penalty is a free chance. A penalty is a free chance.
Against 9 men is a free chance, my bro.
Even so,
and against a high line,
hasn't hit.
A high line.
Osimhen has not hit 15 non-penalty goals more than once in his entire career. And for someone that's got such a stature and a name and a thing about him, you would expect a bit more. I don't know what I feel about him. Like I like him, but I don't. Like I feel like when Jackson comes in and he's linking the play and his movement and he's doing all of these different things, it benefits us so more than us having someone like a poacher like Osimhen is. And I feel like Osimhen, he can't really link the play. He can hold the ball, but linking the play is different. And I don't know. For the price, it's kind of like, it's an all right price for someone of his name. I wouldn't even say he's a good finisher. I think he's just a better striker of the ball. I think to have finishing, like Haaland's a finisher. Haaland's got finisher, like he's got finishing and ball striking. Osimhen misses a lot of 1v1s. He was third, I think, last season for most big chances missed. And, you know, I mean, Jackson's got double that, right? But put two and two together, it's not like this guy's clinical. And like, I would take Osimhen. I know what you get with him. I know he's going to have ups and downs. I think he could be a bit like Lukaku when he was here, because he wasn't getting a lot of service when Lukaku was here. And I feel like that might be the same considering the low blocks that we face and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
but we can kind of say the same thing you're kind of discrediting Osimhen for. Actually, maybe not even discrediting, but probably there's truth to it. At the same time, you can say the same thing for Jackson. I don't think any Chelsea fan probably feel, well, I don't know. Actually, I can't speak. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I feel like if I saw Jackson 1v1, I wouldn't be confident that he's going to get put that at the back of the net compared to someone like Osimhen is going to. You know what I mean? We have a different presence. The thing is, when you deep it, let's be real. If someone said today's market of number 9s, yeah, Ahmed, yeah, 50 to 55 million gets you Osimhen in January, and you get to put him on a pay packet because now clearly he must want Chelsea since he sacked his agent for messing up either his Saudi deal or his move to the Premier League. I'll be like, you know what? Bring him, because what does 50 million in a striker's market get you these days? Dominic Solanke's, which is 60 million, 65 million even. Ivan Toney went to Al Hilal, or no, Al Ahly, sorry.
How much did Tony go for?
About, I think they got him for like 30, 35 in the end. I'm not too sure, but
35, 40.
Fuck me, we did well.
When you
for
think of it,
Alvarez,
when you think of
innit?
it
we
more
did very
again,
well for Alvarez.
who, yeah, exactly. 80 million for
Fucking hell.
Alvarez. Got what
In this market.
we had to sign Xerxes for 34 million, who's not even considered a number 9. Do you know what I mean? So when you deep it, if someone says I'm going to give you that option, you don't turn that down.
So. Has he joined Galatasaray now?
Yes, he's there. He's basically joined
Right.
there. Obviously, he joined there obviously on loan. I just
So
think of
you've
Austin.
got a period to judge him. You've got a couple of months to judge him on now as well. So I think that's a bonus. You got a few months to judge him on.
I was always like fairly, I would say neutral on him. I don't think he necessarily fully fits into the team, but he's a striker, of course, that can do a job. I would say like he would actually be clinical for us. He probably would have had to change, you know, some of the stuff that we are doing to allow him to be able to play at the end of the day, which I didn't mind. If he was going to work and he wanted to come to the club. Now, obviously, the situation's happened now. I think for me, if you can hopefully, you know, with Jackson, with some of the other guys chipping in, can still do a job at least for them up until January, then bring him in. I don't think that's a problem, in my personal opinion. But as I've always said before, my preferences has always been like maybe an Ivan Toney beforehand or a Victor Gyokeres. That was my personal preference beforehand. Going for
do you know what? I look at Chelsea, and I think I know everyone's the one thing people say about Osimhen is the link up, that maybe he's not so good at the link up thing. Chelsea have got more than enough players that are good at that.
Exactly, yeah.
If that's what you want, you've got fucking Nkunku, bro. Like you've got.
I don't know, you know. I think Jackson's a big part of our link up. When he's not in the team, you notice it. You know, like obviously he's not on the same level as like I see him as like a watered down version of Al Firmino, right? Where his main purpose in the team isn't necessarily the goal; it's everything else. You know, dropping deep.
Hi, Monk. Let's just compare Jackson to Firmino. Hi, Monk.
No. I'm saying there's similarity. He's not. See what you lot do. You lot are criminal, man.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. It's just Monster's just joined the stream, so I thought he'd bring him up to speed. And basically,
no,
you know,
I'm not
comparing. I want to know his opinion on his squad being better than mine.
It is. It is.
Oh, you got a better manager?
We have a better squad than you.
I don't know, you know.
We do. We just don't.
Oh no! If you don't see Liverpool,
their starting 11 is just better. Our squad is better.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, but right now, if you're gonna tell me, you know what it is for me right now. Even I'll put my hands up. We'll talk about it as well a bit later with Liverpool and everything. But it's like in 3 games in the preseason, this is all I'm going off of. By the way, some players look like they're improving in it. A lot of them. So catching up the speed, we don't know. With Chelsea, the measuring stick that we thought that we was going to get through Wolves didn't exactly happen against Crystal Palace at your gaff. Regardless.
To be fair, what I will say, Yeah, to be fair with Chelsea, I've always said this before. There's going to be a bit of short-term pain in the sense that we need to still figure stuff out. It's not we're going to be slightly erratic in the beginning of the season. I just think hopefully towards the middle and the end of the season is where you're looking for consistency
If the
from the team.
consistency in Chelsea don't match though, because no
But
one.
listen,
But
hopefully,
Chelsea and erratic does though.
but listen, that is the case. I can hear you on that. But I think for me, consistency hopefully will come in the middle to end of the season. Because right now we can't have consistency.
I'm saying your business model doesn't. Your business, Chelsea has a
business model is. Yeah, listen, the
you-
business model. Listen, I think there's some level of consistency to it. It's just that the issue is, they just need to streamline it a bit more. I always say,
listen,
it's
for
a bit
me,
more
it just
streamlined.
you know me and you know my opinions. When it comes to Chelsea and consistency, it's like black people and swimming. I can actually swim, but it's like black people.
So can Soups, by the way, as well.
I
Or like black
can swim as well.
people.
Yeah, so.
It just
I'm
don't
not
like
Negative stereotype in their months.
Yeah, I know, man. Not bad. I've been
No
going
stereotype.
you know how I be. Like, I'm saying, you guys, like, I wanted to ask Cass. I actually wanted to give you guys some credit prior to the Crystal Palace game, because the way you kind of dealt with Wolves in that second half, I thought surely you guys must build off that. Obviously, the window was still open, so it still could have been a situation where Osimhen could have been coming through the door. You go and beat Crystal Palace, and all of a sudden you're on 6 points out of 9. You're right there with everyone else, and you've got a banging striker that's just come in. So things could have been looking very different. Now you're still looking at whether you're going to get this guy in January. So you're still talking about signings, even though the window's closed. It sickens me, to be honest. Like, just play some fucking football and win, for one. Secondly, I'm still hearing stuff about your squad and your squad depth. What good is squad depth when you're bringing on the same players that don't do anything different than the previous player did? It doesn't make any sense. And what's worse, if Poch was the manager of the game against Crystal Palace, oh wait, Poch beat Crystal Palace, didn't he? So this is another thing that I don't understand. It's the energy. I saw Cole Palmer playing in the 6th when you needed the goal. And Nkunku came on in the 87th minute. You needed a goal, and Nkunku came on in the 87th minute, and Cole Palmer was playing in the 6th. But they're gonna sit here and tell me that I have an agenda. The agenda is towards your previous manager, someone who comfortably beat Crystal Palace. And
CB wanted him.
You're going.
CB wanted to keep Pochettino.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about
like
CB has part of a brain. Like, I'm telling you right now, the way you man are talking about your team and your structure and your balance, because there's no balance. Like, I saw Enzo Fernandez playing 90 minutes while Nkunku played 5 minutes, and Cole Palmer playing in the 6th, and certain centre backs playing out wide to try and create space. You beat these men 13 times in a row. 13 times in a row.
Yeah, but I think there is a level of difference in the sense of the managers that we face. We were facing Roy Hodgson for the vast majority of the time. If we're being realistic, like, listen, the manager of Crystal Palace now is not necessarily the same as him. But what I would say, again, like, if we listen, we didn't beat Crystal Palace, but it's game week 3. Like, again, I feel like we're being a bit overreal. Yes, we should have beat them, but obviously we had a bit of head loss, if we're being honest. But
4 points out of your first 9.
Yes, so did the same thing with Poch. We sat at 4 points in the first 3. And no one was calling him a terrorist at that point. I don't know if the people call him terrorist after 3 games, but no one's calling him a terrorist at that point. But I just think for me, again, it's the first 3 games of the season. You know what I mean? We can't be, this over analytical in regards to what is going wrong or right.
I'm not even saying you should have kept Poch. I'm just saying Enzo is like getting he's getting a blind because he's got bald man aura. Like, for me, not letting Nkunku play as much and Cole Palmer being put in a deeper role is for me. That's like some of the stuff I saw. That's like some of the stuff I saw from Poch in it. That's it. That's what I'm saying. That's like some of the stuff I saw from Poch. Now, am I saying Enzo Maresca is a bad manager? No.
I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying, but I think for me, again, I need to see a bit more. Once after international break, if this stuff continues, then I think it's a valid concern to have. Right now, it's only pretty much, I would say, 1 game. We need to see more before we can start making these claims.
Actually played 5 games, to be fair.
Yeah, but again, to be honest, 2 of those games were against Servette. Like, again, I don't really feel.
I know,
they were
but
B teams.
But hold on,
but they were B teams.
Hold on. But this conversation started talking about squad, right? Squad, not best 11, squad, right? So 2 of your games was a test on your squad, and
because think about it, you were 2-0 down, you were losing against Man City, so substitutions could have been made to change because that's based on your squad, right? Cool. You beat Wolves 6-2, but that game was won before you even needed to make changes. To be fair to you, smacked them, gave you your credit. You've now played Crystal Palace at home, where come on now, listen. If you went to Selhurst Park, I could even maybe look at that and go, you know what? We've seen it happen to the best of us at Selhurst Park. It's actually happened to the best of us. Not that it's okay if you had the third best squad in the league, by the way. Not that that's okay, but there's a way you can look at that objectively and go, all right, cool, flip, we move on. But you're at home. It's 1-1. I don't know when Eze scored. I think it was like what 60-something minute. There's 30 minutes left of the game.
Was either 50 or something like that?
There's 40 odd minutes left of the game or whatever. 30 odd minutes left. This is the time to test your squad. Make some changes. You know what I'm saying? Make something shake. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like Felix didn't really make a difference. I think Nkunku came on too late to be able to make a difference. And this is why I say I don't want Don and Ches labeled as the crazy ones in your fan base, because you've got guys like V up there as well who still thinks his squad is third best in the league. They are not the only ones that have this opinion of the quality of their squad. If you guys are good enough, then
we're going to do this now because this has been going on for too long. Individuals, yeah, go player for player. Tell me.
Oh, it's international break. We can do player for player.
Tell me one player that would ever come off your bench and be the same level as an Nkunku, a João Felix. Remember, the way we're going to play, one of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Lavia, one of them has to be benched. Who have you got that is even remotely close to their level coming off the bench?
Remotely close to Enzo Fernandez. This is what we're doing today. Or you talking about Caicedo? Which one are you benching first? I don't know which one are you benching.
I'm benching Enzo.
You know what? Yeah,
right.
I was going to say this quickly, by the way. If I can see Kovacic and a Bernardo Silva pivot work, I don't think no one's got an excuse. I'm sorry.
Literally, bro, Gravenberch has been turned into a 6. What's the excuse?
I'm just going to, there's another one. I'm going to,
there isn't an excuse.
The way I saw Kovacic,
you know what I will say?
I
will say there isn't an excuse. I will say there isn't an excuse. There is an excuse. Again,
you know what, Ahmed, sorry. Clarification. Remember, we got told all summer you got good footballers in your squad now. Very good footballers.
I also think when you're saying João Felix, when you're saying Nkunku, and even when you're saying Enzo, the problem is that you're saying this based on
name.
Based on name, right? Based ultimately on name. And Enzo had, do you know what? Enzo had a period. Felix, I'm struggling to find that period, although I am a Felix fan.
Nkunku's done nothing in a Chelsea shirt.
The thing is,
penalties.
We know that with Liverpool, they can bring players off the bench that impact games. Like they've done that. They have done that. So
yeah, but football ain't played on paper.
How about this? This is shameless, but Harvey Elliott impacted more games than Nkunku off the bench in similar amount, like in minutes that he shouldn't have been played. Like when I saw Nkunku coming off the bench, he was played up front, he was isolated, and he scored 1 or 2 goals in consolation. Harvey Elliott came on and won us games repeatedly last season. Won us games. That's not me saying that Harvey Elliott is better than Nkunku, because Nkunku is better than Harvey Elliott. But my point is that when you're talking about Nkunku, like what Dap said, it's what has he done? You know what I'm saying? What has he done? You're giving me names of players that are trying to revive their careers, essentially.
That's a bit harsh.
Who's trying to revive their career?
That's a bit harsh.
João Felix is trying to
João Felix is trying to revive his career.
Felix is trying to revive his career.
I think barring, I would argue.
Who else?
I don't agree with that.
Sancho
is trying to revive his career.
And what about Pedro Neto, the one that all the
again,
listen.
Pedro Neto's a good one.
Let Ahmed land.
Listen. What I will say, I agree with you in the midfield aspect that I think we did get that one a little bit wrong in the game, and Southgate had to change that in the second half. I definitely agree with that one. But I think for me, again, the plays that we have, yes, do they fit the system? Yes, are they quality to some level? Yes. But I think, again, with everything we're saying right now, I think we're being a bit too, I would say, analytic wise, on one game. You know what I'm saying to you guys? Like, we need to, yes, Crystal Palace, there were mistakes made, but that happens always when you have an inexperienced manager. We need to give this brother a little bit of time before we start making these sort of things, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, Maresca needs time, obviously, and he deserves time because obviously 3 games is 3 games, but That's not how YouTube works. So
Oh,
because you know what, yeah,
Especially not during the international break.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. This is how we do it. Look, I think we can talk on what we've seen so far, and what I've seen online so far with compatriots that we talked to, as well, is that you said let's not overanalyze stuff, but we've done the same thing for Wolves. When you smashed Wolves, we overanalyzed it, and I didn't hear no complaints then. But when we do it this time around,
I
we're not
was
allowed.
pumping the brake against Wolves.
Yeah,
I was pumping the brake Wolves. I pumped the brakes against Wolves. Yeah,
gonna say
that's one of yeah, you know, I was saying a little bit tranquilo, let's breathe. You know what I mean? It's only one game. It's gonna, you know what I mean? Let's chill out. You know what I mean? We need to see more.
But sorry, you see, Mont's referring to like make the subs and all that. I slightly think like Maresca's in not a tricky situation, but he's got to be careful. He's got so many players there with egos. Maybe he doesn't make certain changes in that, but maybe he's like, you know what? I'm gonna keep you out there, like the end zones or whatever. Keep doing your thing until you keep hanging yourself with a rope, and eventually you can hopefully have the ball to say, you know what? Give it time. This is now more my team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like he's almost getting. Obviously, it's Chelsea. You ain't got time for that. But he maybe.
Oh, he's already willing to do that. He showed with Raheem Sterling that he's Raheem Sterling.
Yeah,
simple.
But I mean, the players that he has in his plans. I mean, that he's willing to play or whatever.
Yeah.
He's probably still getting like a little feel for them,
which is
like,
a good thing. Which
Eddie
is a
has
good
it
thing,
as well. I'm
by
not comparing Eddie Howe and Newcastle to Chelsea, but they do that as well sometimes. Like, you know what? Like, let's say Longstaff, for example. You keep playing, man. It's like, you know what? I was loyal to you. Tried it out. So it's tricky. Do you get what I'm saying? It's tricky. So that's just my view in it. But I hear what Monts is saying though. Still.
You know what else is tricky? Do you know what else is tricky before you do that once? Actually, once I don't know if you've noticed, but the likes of you know, it's diabolical. We even got a free promotion through SE Dons apps. If anyone knows SE Dons, it says anything. I don't see people doing anything for Never a Foul right now. Do you know what I mean? Like they're on 153 likes, and I'm appalled. Are you appalled, once? Because you're looking down, man.
I'm sickened by the conversion rate. Sickened. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, if you think I have a Chelsea agenda, just hit the like button.
Hit the like
comment.
Please. Hit the like button for me, please.
How?
I don't know, but you have got a Chelsea agenda. You've actually confirmed that, to be fair.
Just funny, but today I'm actually right, though. This is.
Oh, no, you can be right and still have an agenda.
I thought you went.
100%. Like,
you
listen, I'm here to hate. But the funny thing is, the times when I'm actually right, the Chelsea fans still don't want to hear it. So do you know what's funny? Then they go and draw to Palace at home, and I'm like, well, I told you so. And when it's like, well, you have an agenda, I'm like, yeah, well, but you drew to Palace at home after being the 13 times of the trot. So it's like, 4 points in 9. And you guys are telling me take time. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Third best squad in the league, but your quality can't take you over the line against normal mid-table fodder. It's confusing to me. At home.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
TM says, good for Osimhen to get rid of his agent. Rumors are that the guy is going to lose his agent license in 2025, so he's trying to help himself and not Osimhen. Swear down. That's mad.
Basically the UEFA's putting in agent tests now, so a lot of agents
I
actually losing.
Yeah.
Agents.
So if it's a test, as in like if it's more about them more than the player.
No, it's actually on them. Like it's an agent test that the UEFA's given them to actually see if they're suitable to become agents. Basically,
that's
been a pipeline for ages, man. That's been a pipeline for a long time.
Yeah, so like a lot of guys are basically losing their licenses this season, and then they're gonna have to do this test, pass it before they can come back to do it.
That's mad. That's a good thing then. If anything, we need to give time.
Bro.
Varun is Blaze says we need to give time until 10 games has been played. We got 3 at Wolves when Poch lost and 3 points to City, and Palace needed last minute penalty. Is what Varun is saying. We got Robert. I'm pretty sure it's to Mons. Yep. Mons, you beat Ipswich, Brentford, and United, and got chest. Palace is better than anyone you faced thus far. We got a better squad. We played 5 games already. Hold on. Mr. Link also says VD does comparisons of FIFA ratings and FUT cards with a follow-up saying, was Palmer the DM Southgate was looking for? Question mark.
That's the one.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Palace lost their last 2. You gave them their first point of the season, innit? But, we moved from there, innit? Did you want to respond, Montel?
Nah, thank you for the super chat.
Oh,
great response.
But this is what I mean, though. Why Osimhen? Like, we got VD in one hand. If you looked in here saying he don't want Osimhen, and on the other hand, Ahmed's probably more in favor of it. But I think if anything goes a show, what about what you two specs and wants? Do you feel they need Osimhen in January, especially for 50 to 55 million?
I think us football fans can be fickle because at one point, even on other shows, like not so long ago, it was like, "Oh, Osimhen is not looking the same again." Rare. Now it's all the hype about Osimhen, bro. I agree with it, with the family there, bro. Like, no, it's not the be and end all to get Osimhen or not. Me personally, and no one really agreed. Some did. I would have went in for Tony and done, bro. You get me? He's local. He's down the road. It makes things simple. He's got to know how. Yes, you say Osimhen. He's got to know how he's special, whatever. But bro, sometimes it ain't always green on the other side. You come to the premise, a complete different thing, and then before you know it, we're all laughing, saying he's stinky. Just in hindsight. So for me, I don't see the big deal. We've got an Osimhen or not. The Tony one is the one you missed out on for me personally. Guy months.
Well,
I wasn't going to say nothing. I thought. Listen, I've kept it above. Chelsea got Osimhen, my opinion changes. I already said that. They went and got Osimhen. You can't look at a striker that scores that many goals, that has that ratio, and go, okay, the team doesn't improve.
Exactly. Worse conversion rate than Jackson. Well, he had a worse conversion rate than Jackson.
Well, I think VD, we need to also add a little bit of hindsight, bro. Last season, played 25 games, was also injured for a vast majority of it. He had 4 different managers too. So, you know, at the same time, there does need to be a little bit of context.
4 different managers, and he's signing for Chelsea. Is anyone going to tell him?
Not because what? You know what I mean? So that was last season.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Listen, that one was just waiting, isn't it? Damn.
For the price, yeah.
You gotta stop. Like, you gotta stop feeding me these passes, bro. You gotta stop. Like,
yeah, no, I was a through ball. I was one of Caicedo.
Oh, you're better at link up than Jackson. I can't lie.
That was Lewis Dunk versus Arsenal.
Hey, that's LB double tap wire, bro.
Literally.
Listen, so what are you saying, Mods? So Mods, are you saying if Tony comes in, it makes no difference?
It does.
What, to Chelsea? No, Tony. No. Like, bro, Chelsea would have been fine. I just think Tony would have been a different type of striker to Jackson. I would prefer them to get Osimhen because I think with Tony, his hold-up play is really good. Obviously, he's a good finisher, but he's stiff in it. People that say Tony ain't stiff, but he's a very good striker at what he does. Obviously, I think Osimhen is quick on the shoulder, very much like a more refined version of Darwin Núñez. So that, for me, even though Jackson can spin off and do that as well, and he is kind of an all-rounder, I think a nuisance for defenders and more ruthless finishing would probably suit Chelsea a bit more. But that's not to say that Tony wouldn't work. I think Tony would be, especially with wingers like Neto, wingers like Palmer.
That's my point. That's my point, bro.
Like, trust me, because for me, I think Palmer would have to go back on the right, and if he cuts in, does that little ding cross to the back post, you can see on this, Palmer's got brilliant set pieces. You can see Pedro Neto loves to take it to the byline. You've obviously got maybe a João Felix that can play in the 10 if you guys want to go back to playing the pivot. You guys could even run the 3 at the back. I think Chelsea should go back to playing 3 at the back personally as well. That's another thing. I think because your defense is so leaky, you should play 3 at the back. To be fair,
bro, we do play 3 at the back essentially once we're in possession, bro. Like,
you know what it is?
Position, we actually play 3 at the back.
Lazy. That's what it is. Our players are lazy. I don't know if you saw the
no, they're not.
Eze's goal.
Enzo
was a statue. Enzo was a statue when things scored. I think the only issue, I don't think our issue defensively comes from individuals. I think it comes from the structure. I think when Palace were breaking, Palmer, Jackson, João Felix, and occasionally Enzo were all just stood. They were stood up the pitch. So then you see the defenders and Caicedo trying to defend, and they're getting outnumbered, and there's not enough people.
Is that not on the manager though?
Yeah, I think that is on the manager.
He said it was habits. Didn't he say it was habits in pre-season? He said it's bad defending habits that these guys have, something like that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying about it not necessarily even being on the defenders, because if you are able to list 4 or 5 players that aren't defenders that are just kind of chilling up the pitch, like, there's a difference. You're not getting that at City or Liverpool, full stop.
Well,
that's
actually,
not happening.
Can I read out something? This is VD during the game. Under Maresca, is this you, by the way? Just to clarify.
I know the tweet, and I still feel the same way.
Oh, do you now? Well, we'll read it out.
I actually do. I fully do.
Well, we'll read it out for everyone in it. Under Maresca, everything we do has a purpose. Every pass, every movement, every attack, everything, including the defense. I want to imagine. So yeah, haven't felt this way since we had Tuchel. We have a tactically brilliant coach once again in Maresca. He's the one to bring us back to glory.
I do. And do you know what else I put out a thing? the other day. I put Maresca has coached the attack well. Maresca has coached playing out from the back well. Maresca has coached patience and efficiency well. All that's left is our defensive structure. See, you left that one out. See, you left that one out. You left that one out.
Well,
Yeah, because you're trying to paint a narrative. I still
but
have so
how
much
can I
faith
paint
in him.
how can I paint a narrative if that's your tweet? You said everything.
Listen,
You done that?
having
Did
an
you? Let me
agenda
know.
and being
Wait, one
right.
sec.
What's
Did you
this?
tweet that? What time did you tweet that?
Twitter at halftime.
Yeah, and when did you tweet the other one? Before.
I tweeted that one yesterday.
Exactly. So during the game, when you done that, now you change your mind.
No, I keep saying the defensive structure
Tracking
needs to
FC
change.
don't work
I
around
keep
here, my
saying
boy.
our
Wait,
defensive
I hate to
structure
say
needs
it,
to
but that
change.
is like being Ten Hag out, then Ten Hag in, then Ten Hag out.
No, that's just me.
That's
Just being,
crazy.
That's just me being true to my word. This is the same brother, yeah. That was going to be. Are you 10 Hag out now? Yeah. Are you 10 Hag out now? For sure. You got to be 10 Hag out now, surely.
Oh, I'm glad that you're saying you never should have been Ten Hag in.
No, but I can't give people chances in life. I can't do that.
Not him.
No, but I gave him a
Not
chance.
terrorist.
He got everything he wanted. You know what it is? I gave him everything that the brother wanted, yeah? Like, as in what Ty was telling me or whoever it may be. You got your players, yeah, that you needed, or enough of them to make a difference. You've got your defense back. There's no more combinations. You know, you've got whatever you need on the pitch to succeed, and you got slapped by Liverpool.
Kaz, can I?
At your gaff, 3-0. No. It's the manner of the slapping for it by 3-0 because they didn't even put. I don't even think Liverpool put United to the sword.
You know what, dude? But Kaz, can you not make the same argument? He got his players last year too.
He had. Yeah, I would say.
Because he's the one that was choosing the players to come into the club last season, right?
I hear it, but different regime. I'll give that as an excuse of why I'll say I'll back it for this year, and also there's no more excuses, bro. There's just I don't have an excuse within me, like to give him to say, you know what, I think this is gonna work out. So if I just say, you know what, I'll see next game, I'll see what happens again, bro. I've already got an L at my own gaff. I've already got an L this early in the season. When
do you know what the inexcusable thing for me is?
And there's a guy who's from his own country, yeah, that comes and debunked his tactics in 2 minutes. I'm done.
Bro, I think the worst thing is, as a United fan, for me, if I was a United fan, the thing that I think takes the biggest piss is the fact that after the game, when told about how the same mistakes kept getting made again and again and again, you think you can appease United fans. That, let's be real, United fans in my generation have been the most spoiled fan base that have been winning trophies after trophies, watching good football. Yeah. And he thinks that he can turn around to them and debunk the shit that they have seen, right? Being beaten by Liverpool again at Old Trafford and say, yeah, well, I've still won the most trophies apart from Manchester City.
Oh,
and I've spoken to older Man United fans, yeah, and that's what's getting them. They're like, who the fuck does this guy thinks he can just tell us something and we're supposed to just accept it? He doesn't know our club. And it's right. They're not Spurs. They're not Spurs that win them a trophy and they'll be happy. Like, I think the guy, look, I want the guy to stay. The guy staying there is going to be fucking jokes. But
you know what it is, Daps? Yeah, you know his conference reminded me so much of Mourinho. His post-match press conference reminded me so much of that Mourinho. When Mourinho lost that, I can't remember what the game was. Yeah, then he had that crazy press conference, like 3 trophies, two to you guys or something like that, and then he just crashed out afterwards. That's what it sounded like with Ten Hag, bro. He was just starting absolute rubbish. This was head loss, and then we're trying to keep it pushing, bro. That's all it is.
The thing is, I think Cass, you'd agree, right? If you had won 2 trophies in the last 2 years, but while you were winning those trophies, you'd seen a clear style of play, right? That was getting better and working, then all right, do you know what? 2 trophies while we're building something cool, right? But I watch these games and there's no style of play there.
There is, but it just don't work.
It's like and I think the disrespect on like the arrogance, the ignorance to. I don't watch every Liverpool game. I haven't watched every Liverpool game under Slot, but I know that this guy is not the same as Klopp. This guy is far more patient. This guy is not going to allow you really to counter them because that's just not the. But Ten Hag's trying to play counter-attacking football against a team that you can't play that against no more. And it's just like, what are you trying to do, bro? You've put on Rashford and fucking Garnacho. The one thing you need to do is keep hold of the fucking ball against this Liverpool team. Meanwhile, Ahmad sat on the bench, right? The one guy that actually can keep hold of the ball. And look, long may Ten Hag stay, but I managed to get this on about Ten Hag away from Chelsea for 5 minutes. We can take it back. If you want.
It's funny because we've got to. I was going to latch out onto Liverpool anyway, so it kind of just segues it into in that way. You know, Liverpool right now, I think they've got a good formula away from home that will suit them. That I think Mons was crying out for before when he saw it. I believe against was it Man City when he decided to put Mo Salah up front. Right, it allows Salah to be more in his bag, and it kind of right now is allowing other players to thrive a little bit more. I think we're going to. I think Liverpool right now, if you're going to say if anyone looks like they're doing anything great, it's Liverpool. They've conceded 0 goals. They've scored enough goals, if not 2 minimum, in each game. So I think 7 or 8 now in total, if I'm correct. I think 7.
3, 2, and 2.
So right now, as the way it stands, Liverpool, you know, again, that's what I said. Gunnar Lee might be a magician. He might be the Harry Potter that, you know, Ten Hag was talking about. You know, Gunnar Potter. You know, I think Liverpool, if they continue the way they are at this moment in time, I think they might be overlooked contenders again. It might be the same season that you might see again. Obviously, when it comes game after game after game, we'll see the stretch of the squad, how it performs. But as of now in the league, they're flawless.
I think again with Liverpool, it's going to be about can they maintain it? Obviously, with European football or not, and that's
where they play better ball. By the way,
yeah. So again, that's what it's going to come down to. And then obviously, if the injuries do happen, and the guys that come off the bench step up and still do a job whilst those guys are missing. So if they can do that, of course they can obviously compete. But again, we'll see what happens.
You know what is Ahmed? We need to add, can I add on as well? Why we need to add some much needed pressure to Mons' team now and everything else, because we crash it within Chelsea for having a couple bad games or a bad game, right? So we talk about need time. Let's see how it goes. But in the same way, it don't mean we can add much needed pressure to this Liverpool side that's actually looking very decent.
Obviously, I've got to shoot in a second in it, but just before I go, my thing is just that with Liverpool right now, as I said, I'm fully gonna judge us like properly, like I can say like with chest when I see these man again, when I see him sort of coach the players on the fringe squad. So when you have to bring on like when you bring on like I don't know, like a Harvey Elliott, like a Darwin Nunes, any of
not
these
one of
other
your
guys,
best 11 that you've been working with.
When it's not the best 11 playing, that's when you see, man. You know what I'm saying? That's when you see. And I feel like when we're playing Champions League and we're playing, you know, when you're playing 2-3 games and the games are coming in fast, bro.
You're playing on Thursday now for Champions League. You know, some teams are playing on Thursdays now.
I think that's only apparently that's only the first week. The first week they're doing it, but then after that it goes back to Tuesday.
Thank God, bro, because I was getting scared. I was like, what, Thursday Champions League now? What's going on?
I think they're doing from what I've heard, they're doing the first week of Champions League where they're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the next week will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for Europa League. And then after that, it goes back to the normal format. That's what I've heard. But
your Mons, keep Salah fit and sign him up. And your club's got to stop pissing about.
Sign him up where?
You're saying it was his last season.
Who's Salah?
That was wild. I can't lie. That was wild. What you just said. Geordie, you just told a Liverpool fan to that they need to stop messing about.
Bro, because I live it.
That's nasty work. That's nasty.
No, I live it, bro. That's what I'm saying. Salah for me, if you don't keep him fit, bro, or get me, he's cool. He's just like, bro, got my trim. He said openly, he openly said it clearly. He just smiled and said, "Yo, it's not." Bro, man got called Aki by Sturridge. Sturridge fully called him Aki live on TV. Bro. He was feeling mad at home. Yeah, he's feeling too excited. But yeah, Salah, he called it. He said, "Yo, I'm hearing it. Like it's up to the club. Stop pissing about. Sign a contract." It was a bit mad. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit mad. I don't think Salah should have said that. Still, I don't think. Why not? I think he should have said that.
Maybe.
There could be no pressure, innit?
Yeah. Maybe he's putting pressure. Maybe they're not speaking to him and his agent. You never know, bro. Maybe he's trying to get one more contract at the club.
Maybe they've offered him something and it don't hit what he wants.
I don't
Maybe.
think so. bro.
I can't see it happening. I think he's gonna go.
I don't think it should be.
I
doing
think
that.
it's
But anyway,
last year.
On whose determination? On the club or Salah?
Salah
You
just,
see-
I just think Salah's gonna leave because he's gonna leave, innit? I think it's
He
time.
wants to go. Or you mean
No,
just in
I
general?
think his
the right
tenure.
time.
I think right now, I think his goal. I think Dap said it before last season, right? He said, "Bro, you want the team to settle. You want Liverpool to be in a good place. You staying gives them automatic 20 GA in the league minimum, right? So
Minimum.
you're gonna put them in a better place. Now you get them in the Champions League again. You have one more run out again, see where it goes. You know, you obviously solidify the team in the manager's spot. So when you do, so meaning he's leaving them in a better place than if he was to have left of obviously this year, because clearly no amount of money would have replaced Salah at this moment of time.
I think the main thing is what Liverpool need to do. Look, Liverpool, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, Liverpool fans, I don't know the insides and outs, but I think Alisson has got 1 or 2 years left?
I think he's got
He's got
2.
2 years left.
Trent-
Alisson's got 2 years left.
Right, Trent's got 1 year left.
Van Dijk's got 1 year left.
Salah's got a year left. Van Dijk's got a year left. Ultimately, the one thing I see my club do well, and Liverpool need to make sure they do it well, is you remember when Gundogan left, and we made sure that we kept hold of Bernardo Silva. You can't allow 3 of them to go in the same transfer window. Not right now. But
No way.
But I do think what you said there is sometimes, my opinion on Pep. Look, I want Pep to stay, but at the same time, I know that one day Pep's going to go, right? And it's making sure the person goes at the right time for the good of the club, so that you can continue to grow. And I think him staying 1 year is good. Maybe Salah going next year after Slot's had 1 year there, and Slot's kind of, they've got Chiesa now, maybe brought him in a little bit. Diaz is looking very good this season so far. So they just need to manage it right, man. That's all it is. Look, and as for Liverpool, they've started off well. I think they're going to be a difficult team to beat this season. I think Slot is going to have them conceding far less goals than they did against Klopp. It's a different style of football. But I'm the same as everyone else. And I think deep down, Liverpool fans know it. It's very easy. And do you know what? It's very easy for me at the moment. Look, De Bruyne's fit. De Bruyne's starting every game at the moment. Haaland's starting every game at the moment. So we all have it. It's just, let's see what happens. I for the first time in years, talking about City, when people usually say to me, City have got 2 in every position, I always say, no, we haven't. And if you want to do that debate, we'll do that debate. However, this season, I don't know how it's worked out, but we pretty much, apart from Haaland, we really have got 2 in every position, right? In some positions, we've got 3. We're stacked. We are fully fucking stacked. Prime example is we've won 3 out of 3 without Rodri, Foden, Walker, Stones. Ake's hardly played a minute. Bob hasn't played because of injuries and whatever. Savio's been missing bits and bobs, and we're still winning 3 out of 3. I think the test on Liverpool is going to be the test on Liverpool's midfield and maybe defense if they get injuries once we get into the November period.
I think Liverpool have been quite good with injuries over the last 2-3 years anyways, like managing them enough, to keep, because Van Dijk, I don't think he's been injured since his mad injury. Mo Salah has that little, you don't have AFCON this year. No. Trent's, his minutes are getting managed at this moment of time.
Managing Trent's game time. And we have to remember, they do have a good cover in
Conor Bradley, isn't it?
Conor Bradley.
So yeah.
I'm one that I don't think Liverpool are going to end up at the back end of the season. I think Arsenal are going to be the ones that we're having a tight race with. But I would never rule Liverpool out. I haven't ruled Liverpool out for the last 6-7 years, and I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, big up Martin as well. I think he said a chat before saying, "Trust me, that's Pep is staying. Trust me, that's."
I know he said he keeps.
But didn't he say trust me that we was going to spend money?
No, but we had this. He did. But we had this. He very much did. War chest. But
his words.
Look, I hope he stays. We had this conversation yesterday on the show, but until he signs. I didn't believe Gundogan was coming back till literally I saw him in the shirt. Because there's things that I hope Pep does sign. Things are looking good, but we'll see. But if he doesn't, it is what it is because he's gonna leave sooner or later. So we have to get prepared for that.
Yeah, Gusto is injured now. Yeah,
is he?
Apparently, is there a bad injury?
He was
What?
holding. He pulled up. He pulled up, and he was holding the back of his leg.
I'm pretty
units
sure. I'm
ago,
pretty
she was
sure
coming.
James is back now as well. His suspension's
Mhm.
over, and he's been back from injury for like he came back quite quick. What, a week?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think he's fine there. And then obviously I think Kai said the right back inverted though is cold. Like that's when I remember him cooking at Brian doing that.
I think Gusto's injuries. I think Gusto's injuries not gonna be that
Palmer's
bad.
not going
One.
to international break either. He's just pulled out.
Yo, Cass, sorry to come off topic here. That's a quick question.
Go on.
Yeah, so just off topic, innit? But I like to sometimes talk about the unpopulars. Like, so your guy, see your Rico, I'm saying Lewis, yeah,
That young man.
yeah,
Have some
yeah.
fucking respect about you.
Yeah. No, I rate him. Oh, I rate him, bro. I've been keeping a
I'm
close
joking.
eye on him.
I'm joking. Go on.
Keeping a close eye on him for the last couple of seasons. Pause, yeah. I proper rate him, bro. So I was asking you. No, everyone talks about the obvious, the Haalands and the Salahs and all that. Sometimes I have to take the different you know what I'm saying? A different subject in terms of what, because I can see he's starting the season. He's in my fantasy football, so like he's starting a few games. Do you think he's going to play a more important role this season, throughout the whole season?
What, than last season? 1,000,000%. Yeah. I'm look.
Are you cool? Are you cool with that? What do you think?
Yeah,
of him?
yeah. Look, I'm a big Rico Lewis fan. Massive Rico Lewis fan. But his career, he's come up playing in the midfield role. I think he is an 8, not even a 6. I think he's an 8, right? And I was against him, like to the point where I was saying I don't want to see him played in the right back role because it's not fair on him. But I've been proven wrong so far this season, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So far, he's been playing right back.
He holds his own,
this season. I think previous seasons when he's played full back at home against teams where we have all the ball, it's fine because ultimately he's not playing right back. He's playing alongside Rodri in the middle of the park. But then in previous seasons where he's actually been tested as a right back, he's looked weak. But we have to remember, bro, he's been here since he's been part of the team playing right back since he was 17 years old. So it's right that all of a sudden now it's like it's almost like he's been taught not to rely on his strength, but to rely on his reading of the game as a right back. And so far this season, he's looked mint. And look, Walker, there will be games where we need Walker. There will be games where we're playing against a pacey forward, pacey winger, and we will need Walker. But right now, we just have to let Rico Lewis keep going and keep going and keep going.
It's only going to get better, you know, bro.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And let's be real. Look, we've seen with Walker last year quite a few errors that have cost us games, like letting people cut inside and whatever. So now I'm all for Rico Lewis, man. And
he's playing better football, man.
He's Rico Lewis, yeah.
I think he's dope, man.
If he breaks through, fully breaks through,
right?
For me, if Rico Lewis breaks through, it's one of the biggest surprises because, like,
you think so?
Yes, bro, because he is a midfielder, right? He's not like he's a midfielder. He's only just turning 19, right? It took Foden a lot longer to cement his place in this Manchester City side, and it was in a position more similar to what he's used to playing. Rico Lewis is a midfielder, right? And he's coming into a City team with Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, right? We are stacked for midfielders. If this guy manages to take a role and make it his own, do you know he's already got the most minutes under Pep Guardiola that any teenager has ever had?
You know what this reminds me of? You remember Fabian Delph, left back, inverting, all of that stuff. And now look, and then they had someone who was a right back then. Was it still? Who was it? Zabaleta still maybe? I don't know who's your right back then, but he used to just kind of used to go. No. He used to kind of go further forward, but he's more defensive. When I tell you, Pep's he's just recycling the way he used to play. Got his wingers direct. Got his number 9, aka Guerrero's back then. Before he put sometimes a false 9 if need be because he got injured, and then now he's got that. There you go. This is what we've got. The scary version, I call it.
I think it's. Do you know what it is?
I hate
because Rico Lewis has been part of this academy, like for 10 years, yeah. And I think what it is he's just, and the whole time Pep's been there, so I think he's got the football IQ that allows him to be versatile, and maybe he knows the way that City plays, so he can move into different positions. So yeah, I'm all for it. Anyway,
I was going to say this quickly. Actually, no, we're going to save that part for tomorrow. we've got a Gal and Northside on tomorrow.
That should be
Potentially
fun.
another Arsenal fan, different as well. Try to split them all up into difference of opinions. So I'll save that
Northside in the Gal.
conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be jokes.
How did he make that one happen, big man? Big
We're
up
very
to
good,
you.
very good friends.
Probably
with them.
ain't told him yet.
Actually, you know what? To be fair, people don't know, innit? No, a Gal and Northside are cool. Just because
Nah,
they
they're
beef,
cool. They're cool.
yeah,
They're
they're
at the
cool.
barbecue together. They're
Just
blessed.
because they beef for opinions
Yeah.
don't really change
Yeah.
much. To be fair, but it will all be spicy and fiery. Other than that, yeah, man, I don't think there's much else to really. I think it's good timing. We'll back tomorrow as well.
I
With
think you
some
missed the super chat.
more. Oh, is it? Have I?
I think there was one.
Oh, Osimhen still ends up at Chelsea next season, is
I
what?
think-
Yeah, I think so.
Tony's. How many years deal was Tony?
3, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
deal.
think they'll go for
He's
Osimhen.
making £1 million per week apparently. So there you go.
Ooh, God damn.
That's what I saw. But yeah, it's gonna go over to
Wowza.
Monster's channel as well. So just go and hit up Monts. I don't know if he started yet, but I'm pretty sure he probably be late to his own funeral. Make sure you subscribe to everyone here as well. You know, you can find the bridge, you can find Specs, especially when he does his watchalongs as well. You know, you can type it in your YouTube bar as you are watching, maybe on your phones or on your laptops. So yeah, man, go and do that justice for them. Go subscribe to them. Big up VD for
Love everyone.
We'll catch some more delusional takes at some point. We're not actually related in a bit.